The night began like a dream. Songyun's concert was filled with incredible energy, with thousands of fans filling the arena, singing every lyric with emotion. No one expected a major surprise to await backstage, a moment that would transform the atmosphere from euphoria to gripping tension. As the lights dimmed and the music paused, cheers began to ring out. Kai's name was shouted from all corners. And sure enough, he appeared as a surprise guest, walking onto the stage with a captivating smile, greeted by a wave of hysterical excitement. Songyun looked both surprised and delighted. Their interaction was warm, full of chemistry that immediately ignited the atmosphere. The audience cheered even louder, sensing something special was about to happen. But little did anyone know, the next moment would leave everyone transfixed. The stage began to move. The floating platform they were standing on slowly rose into the air, carrying the two away from the main floor. The lights followed, creating a dramatic atmosphere as if they were in another world, hovering above thousands of pairs of eyes. At first, everything seemed perfectly planned. Kai and Songyun chatted, smiled, and waved to the audience. But then, something unexpected happened, something that instantly turned the atmosphere tense. Without warning, Kai suddenly lifted Songyun into his arms. It wasn't just any ordinary hug. He carried her like a bride, on the platform still suspended high in the air. In a split second, the cheers turned to screams. Songyun's initially smiling face instantly turned pale. Her hands instinctively wrapped tightly around Kai's neck, clutching desperately. The cameras captured it all. The panicked expression, the slight swaying of her body, and a moment that felt too dangerous to be romantic. The audience below could only stare, some cheering, others holding their breath. The platform was still moving. The slight swaying became more pronounced as the weight shifted. In a situation like that, even the slightest mistake could be fatal. And everyone knew it, including the two of them. Kai tried to remain calm. His smile remained, but the tension was clear in his eyes. He tried to balance himself, ensuring his grip remained firm. But the pressure of the situation couldn't be completely hidden. Songyun looked genuinely terrified. She closed her eyes for a moment, as if hoping it would all be over soon. Her hands gripped tighter, as if it were the only thing that could save her from the worst. Below, the audience was divided. Some considered this an unforgettable romantic moment, while others were terrified, worried that something terrible was about to happen before their eyes. The seconds seemed to drag on longer than usual. The music continued, but it was barely audible amidst the tension that enveloped the arena. All attention was focused on one point: two figures suspended in midair, in an unexpected situation. Finally, the platform began to slowly descend. The movement felt like a belated but long-awaited rescue. As their feet approached the stage again, the atmosphere shifted again, from tension to relief. Once they reached the ground, Kai immediately and carefully lowered Songyun. He held her for a few seconds longer, making sure everything was secure. Songyun was still trembling, trying to catch her breath. The audience erupted in cheers. But this time, it wasn't just excitement, it was relief. They had just witnessed something that towed the line between romantic and dangerous. The moment immediately spread around the world. Videos from various camera angles showed the dramatic nature of the event. Every expression, every movement, was analyzed and discussed endlessly. Some praised Kai's courage, calling it an incredibly romantic gesture. But many also criticized it, questioning the safety and judgment of such a high stage. For Songyun, the moment will likely be remembered with mixed emotions, a mixture of fear and warmth. It was an experience she never imagined would happen in her career. And for the entertainment world, that night served as a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of the stage and the spotlights, there's always risk lurking. Sometimes, the line between a beautiful moment and a dangerous one is so thin that a single second can make all the difference. But the story wasn't quite over there. After the cheers subsided and the lights returned to normal, the atmosphere backstage was filled with tense whispers. The production crew rushed to chatter among themselves, some double-checking the platform's safety systems, as if realizing just how close they'd come to the worst possible outcome. In the waiting room, Songyun sat silently for a while. She was still trying to calm herself, holding her chest, which was rising and falling faster than usual. The water bottle in her hand trembled slightly, indicating that the incident had left a tangible mark, not just a dramatic moment on stage. Kai was not far away. He seemed to be trying to lighten the mood with a smile and a few light words, but there was a faint sense of guilt in his eyes. It was as if he himself had just realized that his actions, perhaps intended as a pleasant surprise, had actually carried a significant risk. Several crew members approached, making sure they were all okay. Question after question was asked, from whether there were any injuries to whether they felt dizzy from the height. Fortunately, there were no physical injuries, but the emotional strain was clearly still palpable. Meanwhile, outside the arena, video of the incident continued to spread at breakneck speed. Within minutes, the clip had flooded social media platforms. Comments poured in, some praised, some concerned, and still others debating whether the act should have been allowed. Some fans saw the moment as evidence of their natural closeness, something that couldn't have been planned. But on the other hand, many began to question the safety standards for such a large-scale performance. The discussion escalated. Should there be limits to on-stage surprises? Is spontaneity worth preserving when lives could be at stake? These questions made the incident more than just viral. It became a topic for reflection. Back inside the arena, the concert finally resumed. Songyun returned to the stage, this time without the flying platform. Her smile returned, but it was softer, more cautious. The audience greeted her with warm applause, as if to convey their continued support. Kai reappeared, this time with a calmer demeanor. There were no more spontaneous, risky actions. Their interactions remained warm, yet felt more measured, as if both had learned something from the events of the previous minutes. As the concert came to a close, the atmosphere shifted into a charged, emotional one. The final song was sung with a different feeling, deeper, more honest. The audience was drawn in, not just by the music, but by the experience they had just witnessed together. That night was more than just another concert. It became a story to be talked about, remembered, and perhaps even learned from. A moment that taught us that behind the beauty of the stage, there is a great responsibility that should not be ignored. And when the lights finally went down, one thing was clear. What happened that night was more than just a surprise or a sensation. It was a reminder that even in the magical world of entertainment, safety remains the most real and most important thing.